Set a budget and stick to it. I agree with India all the way. Talk about money. Talk about bills. Who's living with who and what the rent is or the mortgage is, and put that on the sheet. Talk about the phone bill. Talk about if there's any car payments. Just the basic surface things. Talk about student loan debt. Bring it up if there is any, and set that budget ahead of time so you guys kind of know going in what's what. And that was one thing my wife and I
I
did.
think we even told each other how much we had. Like, look, I got this much in student loans. So it's like we knew going in. It wasn't like a surprise. Like, what did I just walk into? We knew.
Hmm.
So, you with someone and you may be very well surprised. Like, you got $30,000 in credit card debt? Are
Yeah,
you
you might
kidding
want to
me?
reconsider that. Nah, I'm
Like,
just fine.
well, it's just good to know these things so you know what you're going into. So you're not thrown like, oh my gosh, this is totally throwing me off.
Hmm.
Um, but what was the second part?
Second
Oh,
part
combine money.
was also how do we successfully combine our money together. So
Yeah,
when you're married, you're married. That is, joint together. That is for better, for worse, for richer, for poor. You guys are one. And with that being said, I recommend, a joint account. Make
yeah.
sure all your eggs are together in the same basket. Don't hide money from one another. Don't set up separate accounts. Oh, in case he or she leaves me. If that's the case, you don't need another account. You need marriage counseling. And if that's the case, why would you marry someone you thought was going to leave you anyway?
Hmm.
So definitely set up a joint account, set up a joint savings account, and I would also recommend setting up, you know, kind of like a small maybe burner account or money account or prepaid account. That way you can do your online, shopping or your purchases like out of state or something like that. That's the banker coming out of me for fraud purposes. You don't want, you spend the Amazon or your Netflix money or something that you do online, or if you're shopping at some website, you don't want that coming out the main account in case it is fraud. So you want to kind of have a little like money card or temporary card that you limit your spending. If the $100 is on that, that's all that's on that for this month. And if there's fraud, that's all they get until my bank refunds me. But yes, set up a joint account, and get debit cards and discuss where the money's going and what bills are going where. So should be pretty easy.
Yeah, just talk about which bank you're going to go with. Are you going to join their bank or that bank? Get a new bank altogether? You
Right.
know, all that. So that's definitely what we recommend. Next question: how does one build credit in general? And this question came from someone who's actually in South Africa, and they wanted to know if you have to actually attain debt to build credit. And the answer is no, not technically. And it also depends on what you want to use credit for. And like Dave Ramsey would say, debt is dumb and cash is king. So if you want credit for whatever reason, you have to ask yourself, can I save up the cash for this? Do I really need the credit? If the answer is yes, and you just that's the route you want to go, there's multiple ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go get something crazy expensive and trying to build your credit. Something small and simple, just showing that you can pay things off quickly. You have the income and the resource, and you can pay it on time and
Mm-hmm.
pay. That's all you need to do. That's all people want to see is that you can borrow money and pay it back fast. The quicker you do that, you know, the higher your credit will be. So in general, like I said, it depends on what you're trying to do it for.
If you're looking to get a house, most lenders in the United States, at least in the state of Georgia that I know of, typically want a 620 credit score, and that's not that hard to obtain. Um, One way to build credit, if you want, you can get a secured credit card. Secured credit card is where you use your own money as collateral for a credit card. So you'll go to your bank and ask them about their secured card options. And usually, this for a secured card, it's like $300 or $400. You'll have to save up, and the bank will hold on to that money and give you a $300 or $400 credit card limit with the credit card, and you could use that for like gas purchases or paying your bill, and you pay it every month to build credit and use it about 6 months to a year. Your credit score, if you don't have bad credit, should be over 620 if you're trying to get purchase that home.
Yeah.
Most people I see, they go up to like seven something in a matter of months to a year building credit that way.
And then it's good to, if you do get a credit card or something, keep your usage at or below 25%, so it shows that you're not trying to burn up all the credit you have, because that hurts your score as well. So that's another thing to consider.
Right. So I would say, try to get as much knowledge as you can. That's a great question about credit. Understand the laws of credit. And if you have bad credit and you're trying to repair your credit or restore your credit, definitely understand the laws about credit, the whole dispute process. Know the credit bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and know what companies are reporting to what credit bureau. So I think that's it on that question. The last thing I would say is that when trying to obtain credit, don't get caught up in the fallacy that you need to get a big debt and show payments like a car or a $30,000 huge car payment or something big or huge debt. You don't have to do that. You can get something small. You can buy a small purchase. I sometimes recommend jewelry to people. You can get like a small ring or watch or something and pay on that and pay that off. If it's $1,000 or $2,000, that's better than $30,000 over 5 years. So if you're trying to build credit, try to do it on the smallest scale possible. That way it's not much debt, just to throw a FICO score on there and you pay it off, and you can continue going about life.
Okay, the next question says, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and my question is, how do I make room to save with just one income? So that's a very good question. Very, very, very good, because a lot of people, I believe, can relate to that. And I think, when we talked about that, we said one of the key things is if you have one income and you still want to save money, first ask yourself, do you have at least $1,000 for like an emergency fund? If not, if that's what you're trying to save, then look at your expenses, sit down, with your husband and look at your expenses. And
she's single.
No, she's not.
Oh, stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. So look at your expenses and see what it is that you could possibly cut or downsize on. So I know for us, areas that we downsized on were grocery budget, subscriptions, our gym membership. We still have one, but we got a cheaper one. What other areas? There's other areas you could do. Paying some stuff off too.
Yeah, will help free up money. That's true.
It will help free up monthly cash flow.
Yeah.
And if you can't pay off something, if you're all the way at square one, you can sell stuff.
Yeah.
So you can have a garage sale. You can sell stuff on OfferUp or Let Go.
Facebook Market is amazing.
Facebook Marketplace. Just get rid of stuff. Usually most people have something that they can kind of sell. If you need the money quick, you can go to a pawn shop. You can, go to a thrift store or places like Plato's Closet or something like that that'll take, some of your older items. That way you can kind of build up enough money to either pay off something, which is something that I would do, because the more cash flow, when you pay off something, it increases your cash flow.
Yeah.
Cash flow is just basically your income minus your debt, and that's the leftover positive money is the cash that is flowing. So I would pay off something to increase your income, meaning trying to pay off a small debt, sell a couple items, pay off a small debt, That way, that when the next month comes around and that debt is not there, you're not paying $120 because you paid off your phone
Or
and
three
the
or
bill
four
is
hundred
less.
dollars.
You got, 70 or $80 extra cash flow the following month. And that's not a temporary increase as if you were to just sell something and get $80 just because you sold that one item. It's a perpetual $80 that's coming in because you paid off your phone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sell something, or you can increase income by working an extra job, or when the husband comes back, you can, if you guys are okay, maybe you can drive Uber or pick up a couple shifts somewhere,
Or work from
or
home.
tell your husband to work a couple more hours, and then he might be like, well, why don't you work? You don't do nothing, but you don't know. So extra
That's good.
income, work from home. Yeah.
I think the best bet is to just downsize and get rid of things. I mean, look at your car. What car are you driving? If it's an older car, cool. If it's a car where you have like a $300, $500 car note, you need to get rid of that. And
That'll
that's
be
an
tremendous
extra
cash flow.
$300, $400, $500 for you a month. That
Right.
you could be saving. So just look at around you. Look at how can we downsize. Like, it's not easy, trust me. But if you really truly want to save more money, or if you're trying to get out of debt, you will do what you need to do for your family. So that's what we say about that. Okay.
And let me touch on one more thing. Sometimes in this part of, if you are trying to get out of debt, or trying to save up a little bit more money, sometimes people get scared about when someone says sell the car. It seems a little crazy because it is.
Yeah.
It is. It goes against the natural order of things in the United States. It goes against what the norm is. So if you have, the newer car and the salesman sold you on this is safe, it's reliable, you're going to get a lot of miles out of it. Well, let's think about it. You're a stay-at-home mom. If you guys have two cars, kind of think about that. You might need only one car, or you can have one newer car and one older car, like an emergency car if you're kind of like a stay-at-home mom. I know each situation is different, but people are still driving 99 and 98 cars on the road all the time. So if you just need a car to go to the store and back, or run a couple errands, and you're not putting that many miles on it, you might want to ask yourself the question, do I really need a 2015? Do I really need a 2017?
2013,
2013. Like, there are people with less making it work. And that always needs to be in the back of your mind. Is there someone that has less than me that is making this situation work for them? And if they can do it, why can't I do it? So eliminate any excuse in your mind that says, well, I can't do this. I need this. Or what if this happens? We can all say what if. What if, there's an earthquake or a meteor that just comes out and wipes us all out? We can always say what if. Consider it, talk it over, and then if you feel like you're still on the edge, just change your what if. Change your what if to, what if I was getting an extra $450 a month? What could I do with that money? How much more debt could we pay off with that money? And then weigh your cost benefit analysis that way.